25 male, bullied my sister's 22 female, new boyfriend, 25 male, back in school. I messaged him apologizing for what I'd done and to clear the air. He said no, now my sister has turned against me. What can I do? I'll start this with as a teenager. I'm from the UK, and from the ages of around 14 to 16, I hung around in a gang. I did it because I was popular, I would get invited to parties, girls would like me, whatever other reason a teenage kid would hang out in a gang, basically. We were basically a group of jerks to certain people. I don't think we were worse to anyone more than Stuart, though, sister's new boyfriend. We were horrible to him, and we were typical school bullies to the guy. Once I turned 18 and got away from all the bad influences who I'd been told for years were holding me down, and realized I had been and most of the others in the gang were too. I still speak to a couple people, but most of them were cut off, and quite frankly, I'm embarrassed of my actions when I was younger. My sister Jane went to a different school, as by that point she and my parents had seen that my school wasn't exactly the best considering the crowd I got mixed up in. I don't know if Stuart knew I had a sister or not, in all honesty. I have recently moved back to my home and met up with my sister for a drink. She told me about her new boyfriend, and I told her when she mentioned his name the truth that I was to him. So if she's dating him, I'll apologize because I feel bad for my actions. She agreed and told me just to message him on Facebook and he'll be fine. So I did, as she said, and wrote a very long message about how I'm happy for him and my sister, how I'm very sorry for what I did in the past, explained that I know I'll never know how I made him feel, but I am genuine here and don't want any issues with him. He replied saying that doesn't accept my apology and blocks me. I thought, fair enough. I tried. I'll try again at a later date where he might be more open to the idea. Because I get it. He doesn't trust me. To him, I'm the who bullied him for years. My sister phoned me not long after and started shouting at how horrible I was as a teenager and that she'll never forgive me for what I did to her boyfriend. She listed some of the things off that he told her. Some of them I admitted to doing / being there when it happened. Some of them I didn't do but had heard about them, and some accusations I'd never heard anything to do with or ever heard of them happening. I feel for Stuart and want to sort this out with them for not only feeling bad for doing it, but also to save my relationship with my sister. There's a lot here. First off, people don't have to accept your apology, ever. They just don't. If you do something to somebody, it is what it is. You've done it. All you can do is apologize and grow and move forward with your life, and they move forward with theirs. But they do not have to accept your apology. I don't know what kind of bullying happened here. Bullying, period, is just stupid. Unfortunately, bullying happens the most when kids are younger and they're still growing and learning, and so it's hard for me. I'm very empathetic and I understand sides to everything. So for me, I'm like, he was a young kid, he made some stupid mistakes, and now, he's just trying to make it right. But I don't know what those mistakes were. I don't know how bad the bullying was, anything like that. And so you want to give people the benefit of the doubt when they're younger because they do stupid things. And yes, they know right from wrong and all that. But unfortunately, at a young age, people are very influenced by their peers, all of these things. It's not an excuse. It's just an explanation. Okay. Now, again, this guy does not have to accept an apology. And even though people are blood, it doesn't mean that you have to be a family. Like, you can go no contact with family members that you feel are not good for your life. And, if the sister found out what you did and they were horrible things, she has every right to be angry with you. Again, I understand that it happened when you were young and it happened years ago, but depending on what you did, who knows? Like, you could have potentially messed this person up for the rest of their life. Like, there are things from my younger years when I was a teenager and stuff, there are things that people said to me, people who bullied me and all those things, that I still think about to this day. I am telling you, to this very day, sometimes I will hear something they told me in my head, or I'll remember something they did to me, and it still, takes me aback for a second, and I'm genuinely get upset about it. And so if some of those people came to me and apologized to me, I don't know how I'd react. But again, he doesn't have to accept your apology. That's the main point I want to say here. The second thing I want to do is that he said he sent him a message over Facebook. I think if it was really that bad, I don't think an apology over Facebook is okay. I will say that I did go on my own little world apology tour at some point in my life through Facebook, but a lot of my stuff, I don't feel like it was ever like bullying anybody. It was just more of doing stupid things when I was a teenager that may have hurt some people's feelings, but it wasn't bullying. Like, I'll be honest with you, like leading guys on or things like that. Like, I did do some of those things. And here's the thing, like I said, I apologized to them, but again, they did not have to accept my apology. And the reason why I apologize is not for me to feel better. I did it because I genuinely wanted them to know that what I did to them, I don't want it to affect them anymore, if it does. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, sometimes you're a villain in people's story. And so we have to own up to the things that we do in this life and accept the consequences of those actions. So I don't know what you did to him, but he has every right to not want to be involved with you and move on from this, especially with you just sending him a message. I would have attempted to reach out and say, hey, can we meet face to face so we can have an actual conversation? You're paying for things that you did, and that's the end of it. That's why they tell you, like, once you do something, there's no going back. You make a decision to do something and it's there. You can't change it. And it doesn't matter how much good you do for the rest of your life, you still did things to people. And people should be able to grow and change. Absolutely. And so he has people in his life now probably that know the grown him, know the nice him or whatever. And those people are in his life. But again, Stuart, in this situation, who was bullied, does not have to accept that. You did something very harmful to them, and it's probably triggering for them to even have you back in their life. So they could also accept, like, I know this person has changed and they've grown, but the person they were to me was not, it hurt me, and it's not okay. So I don't know, what do you guys think about this? Bullying is such a hard topic, and, I just think the best thing we can do in this life is just be as kind as we can to others. And I just go back and forth on things because I just have such a big heart and try to understand two sides to everything, but I definitely don't think his sister's in the wrong for being upset with him. If I found out a situation, like if I was in this situation, I found out my brother had been bullying my husband or something like that, and it really affected him, it would be hard for me not to be like, hey, like, I don't know if I want to, be around you anymore with all of the things that you did to this person. And that person has every right. So what do you guys think? Do you feel like the sister has the right to kind of just be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore? Do you feel like people should be given a second chance in these types of situations? What do you think of cancel culture? Like, I just there's a lot in this situation, and so I just like to know what everybody else thinks.